I'm Dr. Jason J. Campbell, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. In this video, I'm going to begin a new series based on a request that I got from a viewer on Martin Buber's I and Thou. So I'm going to do, it's a very small, very short book. I'll probably be able to get through maybe all of the analysis, and most of the analyses that I've, and series that I've started, I'm eventually in time going to wrap all of them up. It might take a few years to return to some of the ideas, or not, but this analysis is on Buber's I, Thou, and it's starkly different from Immanuel Kant's, the last series, or the current series that I'm in now, on Immanuel Kant's Prolegomena to Any Future Metaphysics. What we're going to do is we're going to look at what Buber, and how Buber defines sort of this relational experience between the individual and the thou. We'll see what that means over the course of this series. So with that being said, let's begin the analysis. So this is Martin Buber's I, Thou. Alright, this is Martin Buber, I and Thou. Alright, to begin then, we begin the analysis by, he begins the analysis by talking about two primary words, the two primary words of man. Before I begin, also, if you want to get a copy of the notes, just click the banner that'll pop up, or click the link in the description box. It'll take you to the PDF. Again, as I've said before for previous videos, as I continue the series, the PDF will expand and grow. So feel free to, print it out and follow along as I lecture. So there are two primary words of man, right? And each primary word is a combined word. So there are two primary words. The first primary word is the I, Thou. And it's always written in italics, but since I can't write it in italics, just imagine it's printed on the paper in italics, right? The first is the I, Thou. And the second is the I, It. Right? So we have the first of the two primary words, the I, Thou. The second of the two primary words, the I, It. So far, there really isn't much else that we can extract from it. This is like the opening sentence of his book, and in time we'll see how deep and the significance, the relation of these terms, these words have, right? So the primary words play an extremely important role in sort of his account. Okay, when we're talking about the I, It, the first thing that we recognize is that we can replace the it, right? The it, can be replaced. It can be replaced with either he or she, right? So you can talk about the I, Thou, the I, It, and in talking about the I, It, that it can refer to he or she, or it, an object in the world. Okay, pretty fair. The next thing that he does is he sort of creates this relational account, right? What Buber says is that our experience, man's experience, human beings' experience, and our attitudes accord with, right? They accord with these primary words, right? So that our experiences and our attitudes accord with these primary words. So what I wanted to do, because you guys know I draw a lot, what I wanted to do is to sort of give you a visual account of how this looks, right? If we're talking about the human being, right, then there's a part of us that's the I-Thou relationship, and there's a part of us that's the I-It relationship. This is pretty gross and general. As we go along, I'll sort of further delineate the distinctions, and we'll get more and more precise, but at this very, very introductory level, just think of a part of our aspect or attitude as being prone to the relationship, the I-Thou, another part being prone to the relationship, the I-It. They're not mutually exclusive in any sense. So that, again, according to Buber, our attitudes accord with these two primary words. Right underneath the picture, the next is a direct quote from Buber, and Buber says, quote, the I of man is also twofold. The I, when we speak of the I, and I should put it here, right, the I, thou, and the I, it. The I of man is also twofold. We have an I that is sort of related to the thou. We have an I that is sort of related to the it, right? So the I, his language is almost cryptic, right? It's which is good of all continental philosophy, right? his language is almost cryptic. Like what, you know, the I of man is also twofold. What does that mean? It basically means that there's a separation, and in a little bit we'll see how the separation is made. But there's a separation between the I thou and the I that defines that relational experience, and the I it and the I that defines that relational experience. So it's important to recognize that anytime we're talking about either the I thou or the I it, for Buber, we're always going to be talking about a relational experience, right? My relational experience to the thou, my relational experience to the it, my relational experience to he or she, and so on, right? So it's always understood in terms of a relational experience. So with that being said, then it makes sense, right, to say that what did he say? The I of man is also twofold. This I is twofold. When we're talking about I, it's important so we don't equivocate in our use of the term I, that we refer to the I as expressed in the relational experience between thou, or the I as expressed in the relational experience with the it. Okay, not too bad. This reference refers to the I of the primary word I thou and that of the primary word I it, the separation. The nature of the I, right, the nature now of the I is different for each of the primary words. So what we're going to do now is, we see that there's not really a bifurcation, but a duality, if you will, between man's attitude and man's, and the I defining man, right? This relational experience between I, thou, we're going to define this I. This relational experience between the I, it, we're going to define this it. The definition of this I will be different from the definition of this I, right? Because its origin is different, right? The origin of this I is the thou, which is really deep. We'll get to that hopefully by the end of these first 4 pages, right, of notes. So my relational experience to this I is different from this I, and when we backtrack to the origin is going to determine the nature of this I, and this origin is different, obviously, from this origin. So we'll see what that all means in a second. Okay. Primary words have this intimate relationship, right? They intimate a relationship, right? There's a suggestion of a relationship. Anytime we're talking about primary words, there is this suggestion of relational experience. There is a necessary for Buber. There's a necessary relationship between the I and the thou. And to be very, very technical, the relationship is not only necessary, it's sufficient, right? It's a necessary and sufficient relationship, meaning between the I and the thou. What does that mean? The sufficiency means that if we're talking about or attempting to define the I, that is a product of my relational experience with the thou, that I cannot separate the I from the thou, right? And we'll see how this corresponds in a second. Similarly, in attempting to define the I that originates from my relational experience with the it, I cannot separate the I from the it. When I talk about the I, I'm talking about the thou. When I'm talking about the I, I'm talking about the it. It is impossible for me to talk about the I independent to either the thou or the it. And this is going to be actually fun, right? Because the language is just bizarre, but it makes sense, right? I can't talk about my relational experience to anything unless I recognize that in talking about my relational experience, I'm either referring to the thou, and we'll see what that is in a second, or I'm referring to stuff in the world, right? Myself being part of that stuff, at least part of myself being part of that stuff, but I don't want to jump ahead.